Hi guys, welcome to the Music B&B. My name is Callum and today we're reacting to an artist known as Von Scrader's Sex Machine, which by the way is a great name, with the album The Undefined. It's a metal album, and to give you a bit of background about the project, I'm going to enter chipmunk mode.
Von Scrader's Sex Machine was started as a solo project by songwriter, producer, drummer Jeremy Milner of Northern Virginia, and features Rob Davies, who was previously the bassist of Feed Her to the Sharks, on vocals and is currently the frontman of Through Dreams and Distance, as well as songwriter and guitarist Jasmine Mizik. The Undefined was released on the 2nd of May 2024 and is their first full-length album.
So, let's get into it. If you like it, make sure to add it to your streaming services. Link in the description down below. Let's go. Okay. So this is the intro, the Hymn of Letsism. It's almost got like a Linkin Parky type vibe to it with the electronic drums and the synthesizer. Beautiful. I'm liking the vinyl crackle. Very cool. I'm excited to see where this goes. Oof. Yeah. Dude. Man, those are some hardcore vocals. My face is permanently like this for the rest of this. You know why. Okay. We got the cleans. It's got a real punch to it. Got those double time drums. One thing I will say is I think vocals could maybe do with a slight bit of reverb to kind of help it fit in with the backing instrumentals and perhaps have the screaming vocals a little bit quieter. Is it breakdown time? I feel like it's coming. Let's go, let's go. Very While She Sleeps in its style, I like it. Very like early 2000s in its kind of song style, I'd say. Even the vocals, they kind of remind me of early Shikari in the singing style. Like really early Enter Shikari. I haven't tried screaming in ages. That's so bad. Wings of Hope, I liked it. Good start. So While She Sleeps in this style. I like it. Diddle-diddle. Diddle-diddle. Keeping that energy going, aren't we, with this one? This is Deja Vu. It feels almost like everything's well produced, like musically, but the vocals kind of going from quiet to loud, like the singer's almost going back and forth like this. Or maybe it could do with a little bit of pitch correction. There's nothing wrong with that. Pitch correction, bit of delay, bit of reverb, and I think it'll blend in a little bit better. Maybe some doubling up of the screams, you know. Imagine some low screams with this high scream, like down below, to emphasize some screams. Could work. Well, we got harmonies, okay. This is a reverby bit. Deja vu. Let's keep it really reverby. Deja vu. Some scream sing too. I could do a bit more. I like the scream singing. Oosh. Oosh. Tell you what. Keeping that energy going. This is Rome. It might be an interlude. Tell you what, I'm enjoying all this like kind of lo-fi industrial sounding stuff. It'd be cool if this element was blended in with the last two songs. Like these electronic elements blended with that metalcore from before would be awesome. That's a way to bring it to 2024. I've got a strange feeling about the band name. I personally like the aesthetic and style of this album. It doesn't fit the name of the band. Maybe Von Scrader Machine, but even then, I don't know. Von Machine? They sound a bit more like a Rammstein kind of band. Anyway, this is Labyrinth. I really like Rome. That was a really nice interlude. I want more of those elements. I think that would work well. Blast beats, though. This is cool. This is hit. This is really good. Drums are insane. Like this in my head. Got some Lorna Shore going on here, have we? Very 20, like late 2000s, isn't it? Yeah, those lows, like them. Your soul. Maybe I'd like the vocals to explore more lower verses as well as the high. I like the high, like almost screamy, shouty kind of thing. But this. Also, double up the vocals. The vocals feel a bit thin. If you had like 3 layers of that, that would sound huge. There's a way to make like screams sound bigger. Like live, they would sound huge anyway. But when we're trying to portray it on a recording, how do we make that sound bigger? And how do we make it sound deadly? Camera just glitched then. I'm fine. I'm okay. No, you didn't. This is my favorite. It's just brutal throughout. It's Labyrinth by Enter Shikari. Very nice. Sorry, I meant Von Schrader Sex Machine. That was killer. That was really good. Like, the whole way through, it was just a brutal death march. I love it. Okay, this is Time 1. Okay. We've got the electronic elements. A drastic change from the previous song. Vocalist sounds a bit quiet here. That guitar's quite loud. Cool guitar riff though. think the idea is nice. I'm liking the synth element with it. We've suddenly gone from destroying metal to some interesting, almost, what do we call this? Emo rock kind of thing, maybe? Also think it might be a little bit high for the vocalist. Just slightly. With that, I can hear the strain in singing to get it there. Does really remind me of like early days electronical songs. I don't think this one's hit the mark for me. I like the ideas behind it, but production-wise, something's too loud, something's too quiet. Vocals always, like, still sounding really thin. They almost need expanding in the range. Right, this is the Great Tribulation. See, like, these electronic elements in the interludes are really nice, and they would fit well with the song. And then the synth maybe was too nice on the previous song, and there was a synth element within that song. Can you imagine adding some vocals to this? We won't back down until it's something. We won't back down until we're you can keep some of these like ethereal female vocals in it. Almost like trying to create some sort of industrial metalcore kind of thing would work really well. Maybe I'm feeling like these guys need to go more experimental whilst blending those heavy aspects. Can both be done? That would be interesting. That would be more 2024. You could do what a lot of people do now and mix country with metal, which seems to be the way we're going at the moment. Country metal is the thing. Anyway, I digress. Is the name of the next song. Cheeky riff. We've got very low tuning there, haven't we? Get some pitch correction on those vocals, especially in the highs. Put a bit of reverb on it and it would sound so much nicer. Because it's not that this person can't reach the notes, but I think from a production standpoint, blend it nicely. Especially when you start singing higher, more reverb as well, the better it sounds within a mix. Yeah, I worked with a band called Times Too Fast. Their first demo, the songs were great, but the singer was just trying to sing as high as he possibly could. And you could hear the straining, and it makes you wince slightly. And what a lot of bands mistake is that singing high makes you a good singer. Actually, no. I believe this singer just bring themselves down maybe 4 or 5 semitones and sing in a range that's comfortable but powerful. And I think that's what we need to find here. Because the singer's got great voice in the right places and has a great screaming voice. I love that voice. I feel like the gentiness of this one. So far, my favorites so far, probably Labyrinth, Rome, and Wings of Hope. So far, my top 3. Skyhawk. Okay, industrial elements, I'm liking it. Soft one. I was almost expecting to go chun chun, like super heavy.
Through the haze of greed and lies, seeking shines in
Yes.
skies. Such of grace in a world so cold. Story untold yet to unfold. In the depths of
This is the level. This is that happy mid. Not full on screaming, not shouting, in between. Feels quite new metal-y. The flows are quite hard to hear in the mix.
Shattered streets and
Now it's too loud.
Truth is veiled by deceitful lies. A flower blooms in the crack concrete. Crushed before it's ever. So let us dance amid the storm. So let us dance amid the storm.
Harmonies, they were pitch corrected.
So let us dance.
Now pitch correction, I don't mean like T-Pain, that kind of thing. I mean just there's some really great solid pitch correction that you can't really tell too much, but everyone uses it these days. We're going and enter the creep zone. Come and join us. We all float down here. Okay, there's some really nice ideas in Skyhawk. I don't think I executed perfectly, but there's definitely something there. And I think throughout this project, there's definitely been something there that just needs kind of bringing more to the fore, you know, really like not just touching the gas pedal, really stepping on it and leaning into that. It feels like a lot of dabbling in ideas, perhaps, this project, and they either need melding together or a lane needs to be picked. This is the Undefined. Very muffly. Some of the low end needs taken out of that thing.
Time never flows. You're facing the line. You're facing the line. But I won't let go. Someone still dying right. Don't let part of me. Your flickering flame. Your flickering flame. Your guarded fiercely. You'll think it's safe. You're no longer the same. It's a battle.
I think I can also hear the room that the singer is in. So I can hear those early reflections, which is putting the singer in a different space to the rest of the songs. The rest of the instruments on the song.
I am amongst the undefined.
Which is why adding reverb can help. Or recording in a sound booth if you've got one, or a simple towel thrown over the head and over the mic.
You'll mistake a moment, moment in my soul. A testament to how much I've grown. Not with the bed, you need to release what I said like boundaries on my enemy. You'll find the missing piece. It's a battle within, a struggle to find the practice of who I am among the undefined. I'll march through the shadows, set the spirit free. I'm holding on to the last part of me. In the quiet of the night, I'm searching for a sign. Some way to keep the pieces of my heart aligned. Through the storms and battles fought, giving all I've got. But I won't let go. No, I won't let go. I'm holding on to the last part of me. It's a battle within, the struggle to fight the practice of who I am among the undefined. I'll march through the shadows, I'll set the spirit free. I'm holding on to the last part of me. I'm holding on to the last part of me.
Cool way to end it there. Right, okay. Let's get to reviewing this album, giving it an overall score. So, I like to do something called the Flaps review. That's the flow, the lyrics, the artwork, the production, and the singing. Giving each criteria a score out of 10, and then giving an overall general score. So, the flow of the project. I'd like to give the flow of the project probably a 5 out of 10. The main reason being is that it felt like it was going to be one thing with these interludes, and then it was another thing. It was, an industrial kind of sounding project. Then it was metalcore, and then it was a synth pop rock song. And I think there was a lot of ideas there, which was great because I'm all for like switching things up and doing a lot of different ideas. But within this world, this album, when you do an album, it kind of has to be a sort of cohesive world for it to flow nicely as an album. And it felt like things were trying to connect, but very loosely. It was one idea, then another idea, then another. Okay? Lyrics. I'm going to give the lyrics an 8 out of 10. I thought the lyrics overall were pretty good. from what I could hear. Obviously with the screaming it's a bit harder to hear, but from the sung lyrics I thought they were nice. There was some different topics, and you know, it covered a range of things. Only cheesy one-ish for me was maybe the lyrics on Deja Vu. I didn't particularly enjoy the chorus, but that is personal preference, isn't it? Artwork, I'm going to give the artwork a 9 out of 10. The only thing that's holding it back is you've got this super cool artwork with this red, it looks kind of like a dragon's tail coming off a cloak or something. Anyway, it looks awesome. And it says the Undefined, which is really cool. And then it says Von Schrader Sex Machine, which is just completely not the right name for this look, I feel personally. So really cool artwork. Band name interesting to me. Production wise, I'm gonna give it maybe a 6. It was a bit all over the place. Like the backing band and music, mostly for the most part, was fine, with the occasional guitar part being maybe a bit too loud. So for me, it was the vocalist. Either you could hear the times when the vocalist was like going back and forth from the mic, and you could hear that from times. The vocals felt a bit too thin, and they just needed kind of making sound. They needed to sound bigger and more grandiose and more scary and in your face with the screaming, and it just wasn't. It felt like there was this one thin band where the vocals were within the mix, and they kind of needed to be all encompassing, as well as production choices like maybe not adding so much reverb to mix it well in. So yeah, vocals were an issue for me, not because of the vocalists themselves, but because of how it sounded within the mix. I don't think wasn't mixed correctly, in my opinion. And then the singing, I'm gonna give the singing an 8 out of 10 because I thought the singing was good, but in the higher ranges you can hear where the vocalists were straining themselves, and because it sounded thin in the mix, that made it harder for me to appreciate and enjoy the singing. I did like some of the rawness of the singing, and I do enjoy keeping that. I think there's a nice middle ground where you're pitch correcting nicely and it's not noticeable, or it's super noticeable. For example, Bring Me the Horizon, Ollie Sykes vocals, I think, although I really like Bring Me the Horizon and the vocals, I think sometimes it's pitch corrected too much. So there's a nice mid ground that can be found, definitely. So overall, if I had to give a rating to this album, I'd probably give it maybe 6.5, 7 at a push. I think I would give a higher rating if there was a bit more consistency with sounds. I'm not saying be so consistent that it's boring, but there's like 3 or 4 songs on here that are pretty much straight metalcore, which could have been their own EP in their own right. And then you've got these industrial ideas that are coming through mainly through interludes that could be blended really well into these songs, and you could create something pretty awesome with that. And then you've got a more like calmer synth rocky, reminding me of late Chester Bennington style stuff. So it feels like a collection of inspiration, but it's not linked together, which is, I think, my main issue with this as an album. But if it was put into separate, smaller projects, I probably would be, feeling fine about it, because things would be linked better together. So yeah, I don't know, guys. You let me know in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with those takes that I've just made? Did you like things that maybe I didn't, or did you not like things that I like? That's fine. Make sure to let us know in the comments so we can help artists improve their craft, push themselves further, and become stronger, and create things that are more and more interesting. Okay? So yeah, add it to your streaming services if you liked it. And remember, in a world where everyone wants to be heard and no one's doing the listening, be the one that's the listening. Goodbye, I guess. Now it feels so good to say hello, 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 hello. And now it feels so right to say I miss you, I love you. And God, it feels so good to say hello. God, it feels so good to say hello.
Bye, ladies and gentlemen.